The First Law Trilogy, Book Review. From the humble, not epic start of the Blade itself to the world-changing events and revelations of Last Argument of Kings, the First Law Trilogy can only be considered as an escalatingly thrilling adventure that starts off slow but keeps gaining momentum as it goes. While in the first book the focus of the storytelling is undoubtedly the characterization, with only a few nuances here and there to hint at the direction the story is going, the second book picks up the pace and begins to gradually reveal what is at stake and who the main players are. Once the setup is done, the last volume of the trilogy takes on the spotlight to start cleverly tying all the loose ends amidst all the shocking revelations that have been building since the story started. It's one of those rare instances where the final book's climax manages to single-handedly change the connotation of countless events and interactions. Truly excellent execution and planning. The Circle of the World is home to uncountable amounts of mystery and occult history. From ancient magical battles to nigh supernatural events, the setting is interesting from the get-go. Admittedly, the world of legend of the ancient time is more mesmerizing than the one the story takes place. The fantastic seems to be drifting away with the passage of time, and that leaves us with a world that does not stand out nor innovates in a pronounced way. The introduction of the lore, however, is handled masterfully in the ratio in which it's delivered. These pieces of myth are offered in a careful amount, managing to accomplish two things: avoid heavy exposition and maintain the reader always craving for more. Oftentimes, a book needs a reasonable amount of time to conquer the reader. Be it in the introduction of the world or its characters, it can take some dedication to fall in love with some stories. The First Law Trilogy, in its excellent characterization, makes itself an exception to that. Rarely have I experienced more unique, nuanced, and deep characterization. The characters might as well be alive for how well they're built and depicted, displaying distinctive behaviors, mannerisms, worldviews, and an extraordinary amount of unpredictability that paints a layer of beautiful realism in lands of the fantastic. The arcs of the main characters feature different themes and tones, all faithfully adhering to the realism established, and inevitably lead to bittersweet conclusions that are deeply rewarding in their willingness to not avoid or alleviate the harshness of reality. The story takes a while to pick up the pace, and this is evident in the slow narrative of the Blade itself. However, once the events start to unfold and the story starts moving, I couldn't help but become completely enthralled by the world of the First Law and its unrivaled characterization. That's not all, though. The culmination of the carefully planned plot is nothing short of amazing. Every bit as well realized as this trilogy's main strength, characterization. It is safe to say that the meticulous build-up brought forth incredible payoffs, even though some are sad, bittersweet, and tragic, and I consider every second of reading this series well spent.